Hello, everybody, and welcome to the aftermath of AEW Collision. Yes, folks, say it with me. After the collision, we sift through
The Wreckage.
The Wreckage, brought to you by channelattitude.com. Please subscribe for $5 a month, and the Hamin Media Group. And also this week, the PWC Network, because we're having some technical difficulties over on the other network. Therefore, you're getting it here on the PWC Network. You're welcome, everyone. That's right. I am a Canadian, and instead of saying sorry, I'm saying you're welcome. It's still polite, but it's a little off-brand. That's fine. By the way, you're listening to me and you're wondering, who is this polite Canadian? I'm Christopher Ambs. That's AMBS, like lambs with no L, or bullshit first thing in the morning. Native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. Yes, by the way, if you're listening and you're from Canada, I said by all thy sons command, because fuck the woke nonsense. It's by thy son's command. God damn it. All right. Anyway, yes, that's AMBS, like lambs with no L, or bullshit first thing in the morning. Don't worry, everybody, if you're wondering, how in the hell will I remember this man's last name? I'll just remind you at the beginning of every goddamn show I ever do. Now, usually I do rhyming, but this show was so fucking useless, and I want to get through it as quickly as possible. Therefore, I'm not going to rhyme. Jimmy T, welcome to the show.
What's going on, everyone? And yes, oh Canada. I mean, Chris, you're our resident Canadian. You don't want to rhyme, but that's okay, because I ain't rhyming either. So please introduce our co-host, as a matter of fact. Jeez.
All right, we have co-hosts.
I was going down with the Canadian national anthem just quietly.
Co-hosts.
Wow.
It's like we're a regular, United Nations in here, except there's two representatives of America. So I don't know. You guys can fight over which one of you is officially South Africa. But first,
we're all England's bastard children.
There you go. We're all England's bastard children, which offends me as an Irishman, but we'll move on. First of all, it's the Vet. Vet, welcome back to your show, my friend.
Oh, hello, everyone. At least Canada's real. Like, at least that's a real country. Not like poor Jimmy. Not a real person, not from a real country or continent.
Definitely not from a real continent, that's for sure.
And it's appropriate. It's appropriate that I've got some Goddess of Stardom World Tag League off on the side here, because we are joined by my tag team partner on Monday nights. It's Brandon. Brandon, hello.
What is up, guys? Good to be here today.
There he is. He actually was supposed to join us on another show, had some issues at the end, and I said, well, whenever you can join us, you're welcome to join us. And he said, well, I could join you for the Wreckage. And I said, awesome. So here he is. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. After watching last night's show, it looks like you probably need another hand to sift through this car wreck.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking...
I think we're going to pretend we didn't see this and just drive on by.
I said last week was the most thunder this show has ever been, and I was, that didn't take very long for them to one-up themselves on how thunder they could make this show. Also, we've got some people in the chat. We want to say hello. Retro Rocket Review. We've got Lizbeth's in the house. Zane, Labrat, the PWC, but that's just me explaining why we're late. It's not our fault. It really is not our fault this time, okay? Also, I'm going to butcher this fucking name again, but Iran Ben Shlomo. He's been saying that we butcher his name all the time, but that's okay. I'm trying. Also, he has a great comment here. He says, Canada is a great nation. The problem is that their PM...
Oh, yeah.
I got it. Timmy. I can do it, too. Don't click it. Leave it alone.
I ain't touching it.
I'll bring it up. There we go. Okay. Canada is a great nation. The problem is that their PM is a clown. Yes. That is true. It's objectively true. He paints his face and stuff. It's not my fault. I'm not making it up. He literally paints his face. Usually it's black and not white with a red nose. But hey, you know, splitting hairs. All right, is there anything to talk about in terms of professional wrestling news, guys? Nothing comes to mind.
Oh.
There's really nothing to talk about. I mean, can we just end the show now? I mean, we might as well just take it home. So, nah, but really, what is it to talk about?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all right, opinion haver on all your favorite social.
No. But seriously though, we had a
Mindy's
bunch
Bakery.
of matches.
You can find me at Mindy's Bakery.
Actually, let's start from here first. Actually, though, boys, because I wanted to ask the vet and Brandon a question because I'm curious to think what they think. I mean, you and I have already discussed this at length, Chris. But vet, there's some.
I'm sorry, breaking news. Breaking news. I said the fucking name right.
Woo! You said it correctly?
Whatever. Shut up, Jimmy. I said it right, okay? You didn't say it right, and I did. Because I am the more cultured member of this nation of nations, of this whatever the fuck
totally
we have
real
going on
nation.
Yeah.
It's a combination of correctly and directly. Like you directly said it correctly, Chris.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes.
Not correctly, right, vet? I mean,
no, not
that
correct,
deserves
no.
that comment deserves the most Canadian thing that I can possibly respond to, which is to say, fucking A. There you go.
Yeah.
Don't you mean fucking A?
Fucking A.
That was a good one. He got you there, Chris. Wait, he's
All right,
frozen.
Jimmy, back to you.
So you wanted to ask something, Jimmy? I
Oh
believe
yeah. Well, what I did
something.
want to ask. Well, there's these weird rumors floating around in the wacky world of professional wrestling, and people, and this is catching like a bit of steam here. And I'll ask you first, vet. Do you think CM Punk could possibly be the devil in AEW?
No.
Brandon, I see you also saying no. Well, neither do I, right? But people are starting to think that. I mean, people are really, and look, just say it was.
Are they the same people? Are they the same people that thought that that Brawl Out was a work and that this current firing is a work? Are they just? Do people just not want to get got? Is that the only reason that they quote unquote believe things? Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like people are so desperate to show how smart they are by not getting fooled that they'll start to believe things that aren't true. That would be the most for CM Punk to get publicly neutered like that just to come back for a shitty wrestling angle.
True.
I don't think he's not that kind of guy. This guy's a true asshole. He's not going to want to look that bad. You know what I mean? I just don't think so. If so, then, you know, hey, I'm the wrongest I've ever been. But I really don't think that this is the way to go around. Just to work a bunch of marks for what?
Well, I mean, it's funny because Eric Bischoff said if, and he doesn't think this is the deal, but if, and imagine this. And me and Chris were kind of talking about this while watching Collision, funny enough. But imagine it was him and the Elite. It was Kenny Omega and the Bucks, Hangman. Just imagine that. And I was discussing this also with Bischoff and the big fat dude Conrad Thompson. And Bischoff said it's not the case, but if it was, right, and the Elite was in on it, everyone was in on it, and everything from back at Brawl Out was a work, it would be the biggest storyline in years. And I mean, shit, imagine they worked the shit out. But the thing is, this company ain't that smart. They don't think that deep, first of all. And we're talking about TK. There's no way that's even on his thought process. So, but if it was legit, would you agree, Vet, that it would be the biggest thing in pro wrestling?
The biggest thing today? Yes.
Well, yeah, not ever. Of course
What else
not.
is there?
Forget that. Well, yeah,
what else
true.
is going on right now? Bloodline's
Brandon,
fucking dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Brandon, is there any fucking possibility that it could pull the wool on all of us.
If it was referenced on TV, yeah, but they never, ever, ever brought it up on camera.
That's true.
The closest I ever
True.
came to was when Punk made that comment about being real in a world of fake bucks.
Yeah, true. Fair point. Well, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, so this, like, the other day when we were discussing it, I said that the problem that you're having there is, and it's the same problem that a lot of people have, I think, who listen to HMG, who listen to, our group of professional wrestling podcasters, is that we all have way better ideas than the people who are actually booking the shows. So, like, we come up with something brilliant, you hear it, and you go, yeah, that would be awesome. But it's not going to happen because literally we have more sense than the people who are booking a lot of these pro wrestling shows, which, hey, listen, for a guy like the Vet, for Brandon, for Bin, for, GGP, Strangler, that all makes sense, right? Because you guys have actually been in the professional wrestling business. Jimmy T and I come up with better fucking wrestling angles than like 98% of what we see on AEW, which is ridiculous because we've never had a job in pro wrestling. We're just some dudes on the internet. We're just more bearded white guys on the internet. And that's, there's a lot of us. That's like
Tony Khan with
whole
no money is
subsection.
what you're saying.
Yeah. Except like if we had money.
Or Billy
we would
Corgan with
actually-
no fame. Or any other number
Probably
of
nothing.
people that think they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Chris,
exactly.
are you labeling us neckbeards?
No, I'm labeling you a neckbeard. I am
Hey,
a bearded
hey,
white guy on
hey.
the internet.
Hey, careful.
Well,
There's nothing on the neck. The neck is clean, right? The neck is
Hey,
clean.
I don't have anything on the neck either.
I'm
saying.
begging them to prove us wrong though. Go ahead and show us that you worked us all. Just show us how great you are.
Man, and
But
you know
when you're
what?
looking at the stuff they're doing with, say, Hangman Page, for instance, yeah, I just don't think they have it in them.
Nah, there's no way. But it's funny, just the thought of it, because by accident, they can literally pull off one of the biggest things in pro wrestling today. By accident. Only if they thought that, if they actually listen to what people are saying, they claim they do. But, I mean, look, for example, this damn show tonight, or last night now, was just, what was this? It was just matches and
It was
so
the,
on, and
it was the
vignettes in the
opposite
back.
of last week.
It was even worse than last week, man. Way worse. But anyways, I don't want to ramble, but
that liked
Chris,
last week. This week was bad.
B+.
though. I
he
think
gave
we
it a
can
damn
all
B
agree.
plus. Yeah. What the
We
hell?
can all agree this week was not good. But yeah, let's just get right into it, and we'll talk. Well, we'll talk about how this all goes as we're going through the show.
Can we redo the
insert-
skirmish instead and then just talk about Wednesday's show? That would be
Good.
Yeah, and that was a
Good.
much better effort by AW with Dynamite for once, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It got its first
Yeah,
B
weird.
plus from me in 6 months. So yeah, it was a
All
good
right.
show.
Well, yeah, all right. I guess let's.
So
do
instead-
Collision then.
So instead, all right, we have insert promos to begin the night, which I still think are a good idea. I still really like this. This still, like, in the first 30 seconds of the night, I was still excited about what was going to happen. Thinking, hey, maybe we'll get some good matches because we got some good insert promos here. The one exception I will say is that Rush's accent made him say a bunch of funny things. He said,
cute.
if you mess with the ball, you get the herns. And
wait.
How are
Say
we
that
supposed
again,
to know what
Chris.
he means by that?
So say that one more time, Chris.
he said, if you mess with the ball, you get the urns. And I went, I'm sure Thomas the Hitman Hearns is not showing up tonight. If he was, I'd be stoked. Like, that's like my favorite boxer ever. But I'm pretty
It
sure
actually
Thomas
is.
Hearns is not there. And if he was, he would have been embarrassed by a lot of the striking tonight. It would have really, really hurt his feelings to be there for that.
Mess with these balls, you get the Thomas hands.
That's
Thank
right.
you, Media M5.
Right?
Did you also
No.
like how Will Hobbs had a promo, but he didn't have an opponent? I'm gonna
Did you
mess
see-
somebody up. I don't know who.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and
essentially
mind
is
you,
what
he was
said.
marking out when, and we'll get to that later on when he was calling out the big fella.
Yeah, he was happy. He was real happy to be standing across the pads there from the Big Show. I mean, Paul Wright.
Paul Wright,
Paul White. Is
yeah,
it? Whatever
yeah,
his fucking name is.
with a dub.
I don't know, man. I keep forgetting what these people's fucking names are now that they're not their old names. And I'm not calling Edge Adam Copeland. I'm calling him Edge. I don't care. Every single
Adam
fucking time he's
Copeland.
Edge. Because he's Edge. If Ric Flair suddenly had to call himself Richard Fleer, I still wouldn't fucking call him that.
Richard Fleer.
Anyway, Andrade El Idolo is now being represented by C.J. Parker. And I told Jimmy when we were watching this, I said, this is a big step up for me, for
Oh, wow.
Andrade. Like,
Well, I mean,
if he's going from fucking Ric Flair with a vagina to fucking C.J. Parker, that's a big step up for Andrade. Good for him.
That's disgusting, Chris.
It's true though. It's entirely accurate.
Ric Flair with a vag.
I'm sorry if you're listening, RBV. Your precious Shar is just Ric Flair with a vagina.
Oh God, the
Or
vagina.
Richard Fleer with a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick
Fleer.
Boy. Yeah. He is a Dick Flair, technically.
Dick Fleer. All right. So Miro is shown watching, and he's unhappy.
He's a
Doesn't like
cuck
this.
again.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe that? A cuck in WWE and a cuck in AEW. Who would have thought?
Gotta be a rib. Gotta be a rib.
It's gotta be at this point. Or he legitimately likes watching his wife with other men. I mean,
Hey, I'm not gonna yuck your yum, but that's weird.
yuck.
It's a little weird. All right. Anyway, Daniel Garcia comes out, and he really wants to dance and look stupid. So he tries to do that, and it looks like Andrade would rather wrestle though. So he puts him in a headlock and tries to make him wrestle. They do a striking spot early where Daniel Garcia just slaps him a number of times.
He was
like
punching air, Chris. Just say the truth. Yeah.
It was one of these. It looked like he was doing the Bushwhacker Jim, but like on someone. It was not good.
If only he was licking Andrade, that would have just topped it off.
That came
Hey.
later. That came later with
Wow.
Rush using the spit from his tongue to slap someone, which is disrespectful. Okay, little kinky and disrespectful. Yeah. Daniel Garcia does a dance in front of CJ, and it looks terrible. And then CJ Perry does a dance back, and it doesn't look terrible. My God, is that woman pretty?
Well, she's a lot prettier than Daniel Garcia, right? That's for sure.
Like a whole lot. Yeah, Garcia focuses on the knee of Andrade throughout most of the match. So, of course, towards the end, he does a kip up, and then he follows it up by running to one side of the ring, running to the other side of the ring, and jumping on Daniel Garcia with his knees.
Yep.
Seth Rollins' School of Selling.
Yeah.
Remember
Great modern wrestling.
Remember in the day when Billy Gunn got his leg worked and went to go take an Irish whip and he crumbled halfway across the ring?
I do.
True.
I remember a lot of really good wrestling. It was before AEW.
Don't get out psychology by Billy Gunn, for Christ's sake.
If Billy Gunn is doing better psychology than you, maybe you should go back to be a pro. This match took way too fucking long. Twice, Jimmy and I checked how long this fucking match had been going for. It went for about 18 minutes, which is about 19 minutes longer than I wanted to watch this fucking wrestling match. Andrade wins. It's a completely flat finish. They're striking and just doing the I strike you and you strike me thing. And then Garcia went down and Andrade just picked up his leg and gave him the figure 8 for the win. Super flat. Not a good match at all. Vet, have anything to say about it?
I'm just gonna eat this muffin real quick. So
You eat your muffin.
oh no, before I talk with my mouth full, let me just say this. Daniel Garcia. There's a lot of things that Daniel Garcia can do to improve his standing in the professional wrestling world. He's already got the unwarranted push, so he's ahead of the game, right? What I would suggest, I'll just give him one thing to start with, because sometimes it's a little bit, you don't want to, inundate somebody with a bunch of stuff, right? So just have one thing to concentrate on. So kid, here's what I give to you. 250 push-ups a day. All right. That'll fill out that bird chest of yours, make the shoulders look a little rounder, make you look like a somebody. So start with that. And when you complete that, then I'll have more things to give you, more notes. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Step 1, look like a wrestler. Brandon, do you have any other advice for Daniel Garcia? Because I don't think Andrade actually needs much advice other than, somebody focuses on the knee for 5 minutes. Sell it a little.
Saw something in the chat I thought would be kind of interesting.
Okay.
What if they brought in Alex Wright to be Daniel Garcia's partner and they did a reprise of Dancing Fools?
Well, why not? I mean, hey, shout out to Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also got a comment from here. Let's see if it'll pop up for me. Todd Branley, 4-way dance-off. Alex Wright, Disco Inferno, Daniel Garcia, and Too Cold Scorpio.
We need Flash Funk, Todd. Come on now. And the
But who
Funkettes.
wins, Todd? Who wins? Just kidding. Not the fans is the answer.
Definitely
to that.
Alex Wright.
That was
That's
great.
one the kid.
That was great, Brandon. That was really good, Alex Wright.
Ooh, big
Hopefully you weren't
Bratwurst.
going for disco. It was a good Alex Wright. Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move on. Next up, Nick Wayne, who was accompanied by Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Nigel says Nick Wayne respects Christian Cage so much that he's decided to take Christian's last name, which would make him Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
That was a great line. That was a great line. The commentary
That was
was
brilliant.
great tonight. I think Nigel and Tony have great chemistry with each other.
I agree. I think Tony,
Nigel has great chemistry with literally everyone I've ever heard him announce with. That guy, when he's not feeling his CTE, that guy is old school awesome on commentary.
He kind
he
of
can
reminds me of
overdo it sometimes. Sorry, Brandon, go for it.
he's a little bit like a heel JR kind of.
That's awesome. Except heel JR was terrible, and Nigel's actually like a good version of heel JR.
Although heel JR in '99 was he didn't give a shit and actually got over as a face.
Yeah, he was so fucking against the product that the fans were like, actually, yeah, this guy gets it, and he's just like, shit. Good stuff.
Shades of 2023, JR.
Yeah. And shit, that's the JR, man. I hope he's feeling better too, man.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Anyway, he's facing Dalton Castle. Vet, you remember last week when Dalton Castle came out to interrupt the 69-day celebration and he was all mad and he was like, no, we're not celebrating. You guys are bad and I don't want to celebrate with you. And he basically healed on the most beloved tag team in the company.
Yep.
Yeah. He was a face tonight.
Well.
Yeah, so we have back-to-back matches where there's a good wrestler against a shitty wrestler, which I said to Jimmy when we were watching this, I said, couldn't we have just gotten Dalton Castle versus Andrade? That would have been good. At least the match would have been better. So, No, we couldn't get that. The match went way too long. Wrong guy wins. Nick goes over after some distractions, and it looked like the spot was that he was supposed to rake the eyes when the referee was distracted, but it kind of just looked like he ruffled Dalton's hair before hitting him with the finish. So, not sure if it was just like Dalton loves his hair, so how dare you disrespect Dalton by messing up his hair, and that distracted him, or if it was just one more fuck up for Nick Wayne already. Which is
well, you gotta give Nick Wayne a little bit of leeway because he's probably suffering from CTE still after that beating that AR Fox and Swerve laid on him back when he was a nice young boy.
Oh.
Right. That was when he was a face and AR Fox was a heel, but now he's a heel and AR Fox is a face for no reason for either one of them that makes any sense to anyone. Yeah. Jimmy, if someone broke into your home and threatened to murder your young child, how long of a promo would you need to cut in order to tell them, I'm coming to kill you, you dumb motherfucker?
Well, look, I'm glitching out as because I can't. Yeah, I am stuck in the matrix, as Liz said, and clearly I'm ready to blow up, dude.
This is what happens when you podcast with someone who doesn't exist. Okay, they glitch out on you. It's fucking embarrassing.
I am glitching, but that's how I feel, though. It's funny. It's very apropos that I'm glitching out because. How long does he need to talk? There's no talking. You just you want to kill this motherfucker, you know what I mean? You don't want to there's no talking, dude.
And he took like 3 minutes. He talked about the abyss and pissing on graves and just way too much talking. If you broke into my house and threatened my fucking kid and someone said, hey, can you cut a promo? My reaction would be, sure. Hey, Swerve, I'm going to fucking kill you on Sunday. Bye.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
3 minutes? The abyss? Shut the fuck up. Oh, God.
I'm crying. That's how bad it is, man. And I'm glitching.
The most entertaining thing about the entire show is you glitching because... Why do you look like Tony Khan just got told by his dad no?
Stop. Why am I glitching out?
You look like an appropriate booker gave Nick Wayne his match time.
Stop making me laugh, please. Oh, shit. This shit's hilarious, man. I gotta stop. I gotta get this shit down. Maybe it's the bit rate. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just still crying, bro.
You look like Billy Body got told that he's actually going to have to fight someone.
Jimmy, maybe you can just back out and come back in or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Just disconnect and reconnect. You're fucking you're driving me nuts now. All right. So next up we've got a tag match with Rush and Dralistico versus the greatest tag team in the history of the vet's life. This is his favorite tag team. He loves no one so much as he loves the Workhorsemen.
That's correct. And I was basically the only person that returns from last week. It's JD Drake. I wanted a lot of people from last week to return. And JD Drake comes back. So I'm not cool with that.
No.
But then I was like, the consolation was, oh shit, he has to get in there with Rush. So now I'm interested. And, yeah. Because JD Drake's been like, thinking he's over for like a while now and like trying to do too much, and I would like Rush to put him in his place. So I'm not really sure that we got that, but not as much as I would have liked.
Chopped him pretty fucking hard a couple of times.
Yeah, but I wanted it to get awkward. You know, I wanted to get like Antonio Inoki and Great Antonio awkward. But
Vet was hoping for Roosh versus Jungle Boy levels of violence, which I just don't think it was in the cards. Because it was a tag match. If it was a singles, I bet you he would have.
Jesus Christ, what is going on there? If you guys are seeing this live, you gotta be this is like
I'm shape shifting.
Yeah, Halloween was last month, Jimmy. It's over. Stop trying to look like he looks. If you're not watching this, he looks like you know in like the Paranormal Activities when they just show the sped up footage and stuff of the person just standing there staring at the wall. You know, it's like that, except he's got like a different face altogether. They're trying to put an AI. They're trying to put an AI baby on Jimmy's face here.
Fucking hell. Oh God.
I can't do this, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's just have a PNG of Jimmy there.
So listen, Roosh is great. I'm going to say that just right off the bat. He's a really, really good worker. He's believable. Everything that he does is fun, interesting. It looks like he's really trying to hurt people in there. And he appears to be trying to win wrestling matches, which in today's modern era is something I have to say as a positive about someone. Ridiculously. But it really is something that I have to mention. Dralistico is another masked wrestler in AEW. And why don't they let anybody stand out in terms of that? Because, like, when you watched the Cruiserweight division in WCW, basically all of the different masked wrestlers had their own style or their own charisma, right? You knew the difference between pretty much everybody. You know, La Parka was just kind of a fucking nutcase, right? And he was going to work differently than Juventud Guerrera, who was going to work differently than Ultimo Dragon, right? Who was going to work differently than Rey Mysterio. And all of those different cruiserweights had their own thing that made them stand out from each other. In AEW, I really do not know the difference between Dralistico and Salido del Sol and the dude who does the fucking springboardy stuff and the other guy and Juan and whatever the fucking other Max guys are called. Like, they all just kind of seem very samey to me. Brandon, I know this is the first time that you've watched Collision, but what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about masked guys? You can't just have a whole bunch of guys in masks. You need to give them a way to stand out. Like, what are some things that you think that they should be doing in order to try to stand out from one another? And what would you give them for advice?
Man, that one's actually really tough because, like, I got nothing out of this match. Like, I literally have it in my notes. Some lucha team versus some team not good enough to get an entrance.
That's
the
workhorsemen you're talking about there, Brandon, and those are the Vet's favorite tag team. Just kidding. Vet does not like those guys.
How fat is that fat dude now, man? What's his name again?
JD Drake.
Oh, that's it. Well, JD Drake can go and he needs something.
He needs something to stand out from the rest of the crowd too. Maybe a tattoo on his stomach or something. Just like a big old fireball. He could just get tattoos like Bam Bam had the trunks. Just get tattoos like that. He'd probably stand out. Just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I just kind of feel like if you're a masked wrestler in AEW, you need to do something to try to stand out because they already have 6 of you. And, you know, it's cool. We're all very impressed that you can do topes. But, like, JD Drake can do a fucking tope at this point. It's not impressive anymore. So you got to do something to try to stand out. Just a bit of, you know, courtesy. The House of Black have a video that they sent in just after that, and they walk in from the dark, and they're really impressed with Lij. I think they said they were. They might have been being sarcastic. They're planning on winning the tag titles so that Lij will have to chase them. And then Julia Hart makes a challenge for Statlander. And I have here in my notes, lady, you're supposed to be a witch. Act like a witch. Don't really know how else to say that. Vet,
Sir.
what the fuck do you give for advice to Julia Hart? Because I don't think that she's like that there's nothing there. She does have a good look, obviously, right? She's a very pretty young girl. I don't mind the idea of her being like the witch in the group, right? Like even if she's not the lead, but she needs to be a witch. Like, do something to convince me that you're actually a dark evil woman. Don't just cut a promo like every girl from Sacramento could cut a promo.
Hey, the girls here can cut pretty good promos. Okay, well, look. Who said she was a witch? She wore a hat? I mean, give me a fucking break. This is just people trying to be they have a certain look. They're all just, to me, they're all just boring wrestlers.
Plus,
I liked Malachi better as a single. I don't like this group of hangers-on. I would never give Buddy a job unless it comes with his girlfriend, I'm not gonna I don't really care about Brody King. There's a million Brody Kings. It's so but specifically to Julia Hart, it's like, I don't know. The gimmick's dumb, but all I can do is watch her from a mechanic standpoint and see how she evolves from there, which in that case, much better than she was. And she's unfortunately, I say unfortunately, not to disparage her, but more to disparage kind of like everybody else and the booking thereof. Unfortunately, she had the best match tonight with Willow. So could be an indictment or it could be praise, but that was the highlight of this shit show. And I'm not going to even pretend that some of that
really bad echo. It's definitely from you because the rest of us have headphones.
So do I.
Yeah, but you no? Is it not? Well, where's the echo coming from? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
It might have been because I took off my headset and I had it near the mic. So yeah, could have been that. Is there an echo now?
No.
All right. Well, there. Yeah, it could have been that. Sorry, my bad.
This show's almost as good as Collision. So basically what I'm saying is part of the reason that, even if it's only a small part of the reason that Julia Hart had the best match and was the highlight of the show is because her ass was out. So.
And plus, if she's a witch, where's her broom?
Or anything. I don't need you to be a fucking witch from every 1930s movie ever. Like you can do like the witch thing and just like actually have it be like a cool modern spin on the idea, but do it if you're gonna do it. Anyway, Statlander is up next, and she's talking. So sorry, everybody. She says sure to a match at the pay-per-view against somebody. I wasn't paying much attention to what the fuck she was saying. And then she said something that made Willow really happy, which was that Willow was going to get to face Julia Hart first.
Cool. I mean, who cares?
I don't. Also, whoever told Statlander that that top looks good on her is lying and needs to be hurt. Not Statlander needs to wear rocker chick t-shirts and go back to trying to be mommy cuz yeah.
Please, no. Remember that when she said she was mummy? Mummy's coming home too.
Yeah, mama's coming home. I was like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah,
look.
mama. That's it.
Look, there's an abnormally tall, muscular rocker chick who's calling herself mommy."
Wasn't she an alien for crying out loud?
She was at one point. She's no longer an alien. Jimmy, you need to leave the past in the past. She's not an alien.
So I need to leave her back in Andromeda.
Yeah, that's right. Back in
God
the
damn it.
Andromeda galaxy where she's from.
God damn.
Anyway, Darius Martin versus Roderick Strong is up next. And man, Roderick Strong is not a bad technician. He's his wrestling comes across as aggressive, and it looks like he's trying to hurt people, which is good. And everything else about this was pretty much terrible. It went too long, even though it was about 5 minutes long. Who in the fuck is Darius Martin? He's basically a luchador without a mask, so it's cool.
He's getting a little flubby, I've noticed.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a little bigger. Anyway, Brandon, this is sort of your first step into Neck Strong, right? How did you like it?
I did not really care for this at all. Again, I don't know the stories, I don't know the angles, I don't know the characters, and they did absolutely nothing to get me to care. I mean, like you said, the in-ring stuff from Roderick looked good, but it just took way too long to get to where they were going.
Mhm.
And also, where's
Against
Maria?
this opponent.
Yeah, and where's Maria at for this group too?
Well, then I have like 10 kids.
She ain't been nowhere near this angle. And what she's doing is she's doing like the weird cougar thing on Ring of Honor. So she's collecting shiny young men to manage, kind of like CJ Perry. And
what are you trying to
for some reason, not at all concerned with what her husband is up to, and vice versa.
I mean, what is the storyline? Like, that's like, what is it? What's this even supposed to be?
It's that the Kingdom are friends with Roderick Strong, who
No. I'm talking about between CJ more so and Rusev, whatever, Miro.
it's that Miro doesn't want CJ around because she distracts him, but she wants to be involved in something, so she's there, and but he's angry because she's there and wants to do stuff.
Miro's never even around for her to be around. You got to be around for somebody to be around you.
He was there today. He was backstage.
Yeah, and she wasn't around, so it's all working out just the way he wants.
I mean, it looked like he was literally licking his lips watching the screen, like being a cuck, literally.
And another thing, this whole fucking show is basically Ring of Honor. Like, if the Ring of Honor I've been watching basically looks like this, and I fast forward past most of that. So my question is, if this whole show is just fucking Ring of Honor anyway, can I get Athena on the program so I at least have something to watch?
That would be
apparently Athena's killing it in Ring of Honor, right?
Killing
Supposedly.
it. She's my favorite.
Legit.
Yes.
Okay, just
not like JD Drake. Like he's serious about this.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good worker. She's a really, really good worker.
Yep.
And there's a few talents in Ring of Honor that you're like, man, these guys, they could be, if they just want to make this a Ring of Honor show, then make it a Ring of Honor show and show me some really great Ring of Honor talents. Stop showing me Daniel fucking Garcia and telling me that he's a big deal, because he's not. He's not good. We don't believe you. That's not going to get over. Daniel Garcia is the fetch of AEW, because it's not getting over.
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. Okay.
I don't think my father, the inventor of toaster strudel, would be too happy to watch this show either.
Exactly.
Toaster strudel.
Exactly. Vet gets my
Whoa.
reference. This is why we're friends, Vet. Tony Khan is backstage next with Ivar One Eye. And
Thanks, guys.
Tony is excited that Ivar will be at next year's All In, which is 9 months from now. How in the fuck can you guarantee that Daniel Bryan is going to be healthy 9 months from now?
9 months from tonight.
Zane's got a funny comment in the chat though.
What's
I
it?
mean, he says, "I like." Oh no, not that one, but that's pretty good too. They have to do what WWF did in 2001 with WCW. Well, there's a few things they did. Was it the invasion you're talking about, Zane? Was it when they bought WCW or when they destroyed WCW? Pretty much. I mean,
This is an unannounced Ring of Honor invasion. They just showed up. I
yeah.
mean, when you've got
It is
when you've got
unannounced.
the Workhorsemen and you've got fucking Willow Nightingale and you got, you know, like this is just an episode of or Darius Martin. This is Ring of Honor. What's
Darius Rucker?
almost I'd take that at this point. Where was you know, like where's Shoddy Lee? God, was he too busy to be here on Collision? You know,
Well, he did just come back from his honeymoon with the AEW witch in Julia Hart.
oh well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got married, literally.
that's
Yeah, Dalton Castle, you know, like there's this just we don't get any of the good. We don't know Shane Taylor. You know, if we're gonna talk about guys from Ring of Honor, Shane Taylor was running an angle. And how'd you guys like that? How'd you guys like on Wednesday when Keith Lee just loses clean when he's already running an angle with a guy that is trying to get in a match with him, and that would have been the perfect way to cost Keith Lee a chance at the television title that Joe is just going to inexplicably vacate moments later. And that could have definitely set up something, but you know what? Never mind. We're not doing it.
Doesn't matter. They buried the title. It's all, who cares?
They
You
buried
could have done
everything,
one-
but we're not even. But my point is, we're not even getting the Ring of Honor talent on this episode of Collision that we need to get from Ring of Honor. We're leaving all the talent on Ring of Honor that nobody's watching and have to pay a premium price. And this show that you get with your cable subscription or satellite or whatever the fuck, you have to watch goddamn JD Drake in his underwear.
And he's fatter than ever, bro.
Excuse me.
I
for a
mean,
moment. I need another.
that finish. That finish that Vet just suggested too, by the way, between Joe and Keith Lee, would have made so much more sense. It would have healed Joe like in a really, really nice way too, because Joe's strong and he needs to be booked strong, and that's totally fine, right? But a situation where Joe goes over thanks to a little bit of shenanigans on the outside from Shane Taylor, Joe gets the win, and then afterwards you have Keith Lee. He's pissed off and he's going, "Give me a rematch. That wasn't a clean win. That wasn't a clean win." You just have Joe be like, "Listen, I understand that you want a rematch against me, but I feel like because of the historic nature of my run as television champion, I'm going to do the appropriate thing here, and I'm going to relinquish the championship as champion. Keith Lee, you may be deserving of a shot at the television championship, but I've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm better than everyone in this division. Thank you, everyone. Here's your championship. Good night," right? Because then Joe's still strong. He won, right? He still wins the match. He still gives away the championship because they want to do some fucking tournament. I know that's what they're going to do with this fucking belt. It's going to be a fucking tournament because this goddamn company thinks that tournaments are just everything and every fucking week should be the G1. So anyway, that finish, by the way, saves Keith Lee. It builds Joe as a heel. It builds the thing between Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, and it keeps the fucking ROH TV championship as something that people want.
You know what I want? I think we should get a new version of the Ugandan giant Keith Lee.
Bearcat.
That's
Jimmy,
what I
why don't
want.
you dip back out again? Okay, how about that?
And we get Kim Chi coming back as the manager once again. And he can slap his stomach. Oh, start doing that. You might as well. I mean, he was a Bearcat not long ago.
He was a Bearcat. What does
Just
that
saying.
mean?
I have no idea. You're gonna have to ask Vince.
It's the one other black wrestler that Vince McMahon ever heard of. So he gave that name to keep it.
It's
Fucking
true.
right. Yes. Thank you, Zane, for this comment. Thank you. The hoodie's pretty sweet, I gotta say. I love it. Yeah. Fuck, man. Tony, after saying that he's sure that Daniel Bryan will be at All In 9 months from now and will be wrestling there, somehow sure of that, he then sets up the Continental Classic tournament.
New championship.
And there will be the winner will be a champion. It'll be the championship finals. So we're getting another fucking belt for AEW, or this one gonna be a trophy? That
No one has any clue.
I think they're just gonna etch it on a plaque somewhere.
Yeah.
Todd Brantley with the comment. Todd's last comment. You got to highlight that, Chris.
Managed by Leatherface. Yeah. That's the Ugandan Bearcat, Keith Kamal Ali, managed by Leatherface. Because AEW. All right. Brandon,
Oh, shit.
I don't follow Japanese wrestling that closely. I don't think I've ever actually watched a G1 match, but I know it's a big deal. I know that it is a big deal and people look forward to it every year. Here's my pitch to you, Brandon. Okay. You're a billionaire. You have your own wrestling company. You know how the G1's really cool, Brandon? What if we did it every week?
Then it's not cool and special anymore.
Right.
Yes, it is, damn it. It's a
That is
war.
exactly my problem with the myriad of fucking tournaments that they have in AEW. It's cool if you do it once a year and it means something. I've always said that the King of the Ring tournament could be really, really cool if it meant something. If the winner didn't just walk around with a fucking scepter for the next 3 months, it would actually be cool. If that led to a world title shot or that led to something, that fucking tournament could be awesome every year. But it needs to mean something, and it can't be every fucking week.
Well, that person you just badmouthed, well, not really, about the scepter and the crown, that created King Booker, damn it.
Yeah. One guy out of the 20 or so who
the
they
King
tried
of
to
Hearts.
get over with that.
Owen Hart.
Test.
Macho King Randy Savage.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
King
That's
Haku.
When people say Randy Savage, that's what they all remember, is Macho King.
Hey, I do.
King of the Ring didn't exist back then either, so.
Well, it actually did, not as a pay-per-view, though. As a house show.
Yeah, it was a house show, Vet. Anyway, my point is, if you want to make something special, like, you need to do it rarely. You can't just throw it out there every fucking 3 weeks and be like, look, we have another tournament. Aren't you excited? Because the answer is no, I'm not. Can I have something else, please?
No, you cannot.
Fuck.
You eat your tournament or you get no dessert.
What's Julia the dessert, though, Vet? Another
Willow.
tournament?
Muffin.
Nice.
Mindy's Bakery.
Julia Hart versus Willow. And yeah,
talk about
I'm going to let Vet
Highlight
say
of
whatever
the
he wants to say about this because he liked this match. And I said that the best part of this match was the sexual tension between Brody King and Willow. So
yeah,
I apparently disagree with Vet on this particular one. Brandon, what did you think of the match between Julia Hart and Willow?
The only real note I have is this: there was a nice transition from the gory special into a different submission. I liked that. Other than that, that wasn't really a whole lot going for me in this match.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what I told Jimmy. when I watched the Gory special. It, I'm not a great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I've rolled a little. You could not lock me into a Gory special ever, because all I have to do is just roll my ankles a little bit and I won't be there anymore. You can't keep me in that fucking position. That is not realistic at all. And anyone who's ever done any rolling is going to look at that and go, why doesn't she just move her feet? It's not a good, it's just not. It's not that is not an effective wrestling move in 2023 when there's so much crossover with people who know mixed martial arts. And I mean, maybe I'm the one, maybe I'm the only person who looks at it and goes, that is fucking stupid. But that is a fucking stupid move. You can't log anybody into that. Ever. Ever.
Well, she was exhausted, Chris. Come on.
Yes. She was clearly exhausted. Julia Hart wins. And yeah.
All right, Chris, I'm going to clarify my position on this, all right? I'm not saying that it was a good match. What I'm saying is what I was more looking at what it wasn't. And what it wasn't was which you often see in especially the AEW women's division of a bunch of up and down and rope running where they're just trying to do these sequences. There was a lot more grappling, and they actually tried to work some stuff. And Julia Hart looked better than she has in the past, so she's on the right track. Willow's whatever. I think she's gonna, she's probably only gonna get better, but I mean, I think we're kind of seeing a ceiling here, especially considering who she has to work with. It's going to be hard for her to improve, so therefore she's kind of going to struggle to improve just because of the competition. But so I was just happy to see, instead of pitter pattering all over the ring with the little tiny steps and everything and trying to do clotheslines and shit, I just like that they tried to, get in there, and it looked like more of a struggle. Not saying they did a great job.
A struggle?
Yeah. Not saying they did a great job, but it was better than it was, and it was better than everything else. I mean, you could say that Andrade and Daniel Garcia technically had a better match and did better in their match, but that's, if we're looking at grading on a curve or whatever, they should have done way, way better for what they did than what these ladies did for what they did, and they didn't. The ladies outperformed them to their ability, if that makes sense.
To be clear,
Well,
I hated this match, but I think
Me
you're
too.
right. Like, I think that you're right that this was
Yeah, the match sucks. I'm talking about a la carte, man. What am I gonna? What I didn't. By the way, I didn't order anything on this show. This is not what I ordered. I'm returning everything.
But you got to see some Julia Hart ass, so you're like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, I
She's
mean,
hardly got an ass.
that's
really,
the fruit
but,
cup. That's the complimentary fruit cup. This time, it's like, oh well,
But to be honest, man, once someone like Julia Hart defeats someone as big as Willow, you can kiss your career goodbye. She's done. You can't lose to someone.
No, she's not.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
she's
who's
not
in the
done.
main
Of course
event
not.
tonight? Lance Archer.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He jobbed his way to the main event with legends
He didn't even look.
with legends like Sting and Edge. So
We had a
don't say that losing to somebody of a smaller size means you're done.
Well, yeah, you just use it as a jobber instead. I forgot. My bad.
We'll get there.
Remember, I mean, honestly, you remember the chart: 6'2" and over. You're a fucking loser. That's it.
That's right. I might be able to just like get a few wins on TV. I'm 6'1".
Wow, there you go. Look, it's 50-50 booking with you, Chris.
Can you dance?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. No, not
All
really.
right then.
Ricky Starks. I can dance around questions. Ricky Starks is up next, and him and Big Bill, they don't even want to talk to their challengers. There's people who want the belts, and they're just like, we don't want to wrestle you. We're not wrestling you. We're not going to wrestle you, you fucking losers. We don't even want to talk to you guys in catering. Stay away from us. Just leave
And you
us
can't
alone.
teach that.
And then the cute little lady is like, well, I've actually just talked to Tony Khan, and he said that you're going to face all 4 of your challengers at the pay-per-view. It's going to be a 4-way tag match for the AEW
clusterfuck.
Tag Team Champion. And that's exactly what I wrote down here. That'll be a fucking nonsense match.
TK's got a thing for clusterfucks, man, for real. Like, so in this war shit show, whatever we're gonna call it, we've got tournaments by the dozens. We've got tag teams by the fucking dozens in one match. I mean, is he shitting his load everywhere here? Like, are we gonna just have, I don't know, every tag team in one match, every fucking idiot in a tournament, every this guy in this? We're going to get more belts and more cups and more battle royals and more.
Let me go ahead and ask the guy who is watching Collision for the first time tonight 2 questions. Brandon, when is Full Gear, and are you watching?
Don't know and no.
Okay. So
did they actually say the date of Full Gear?
Pretty big failure on the part of this company, since it's next weekend, and they should have been selling you on their pay-per-view. But no, you don't want to watch it. You're not interested to see who the fuck all is in this match. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus the House of
Enzo
Black
Starks
versus LAJ versus FTR. You don't want to see those 8 guys do wrestling moves with each other
and flips.
And when I say with each other, I mean with each other and not to each other. They're going to do wrestling moves with each other.
You know, we got a Dynamite and a Rampage before Full Gear, and that's enough time to do a mini tournament if we'd rather just get this down to it.
Oh my god. How'd you come up with that, Vet?
I don't know. I've just been paying attention.
That's crazy. You could add the workhorsemen in and make it 4 teams in a tournament.
That's crazy,
dude. I'm creaming in my chair right now.
4.5, I guess, if you count JD Drake's stomach. Anyway, yeah. Jesus Christ. Powerhouse Hobbs tournaments against local talent, and it's just a squash match, which is an excuse for people to talk a lot to Paul Wright.
Yeah.
White.
Oh.
Right.
And by people, we mean Don Callis. Almost
Paul Big
exclusively.
Show. Yes. Don Callis is like, hey, I understand you're a scared giant, which is why you're getting into a wrestling ring to fight me and my friends, because you're defending your friend, which is something all scared people do.
Suffering succotash. That's all that's going through my head.
Yeah. And then Powerhouse Hobbs was pretty stoked that Paul White was yelling at him. It's White.
He marked out, bro. Okay. He legitimately
He's another bearded white guy on the internet, except he's also on TV. So, yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs was pretty excited about that, and Brandon wasn't, because he's not ordering the pay-per-view.
You're not? You're not convinced after watching this shit, Brandon? Oh, dude.
He shook his head no for audio only.
Yeah.
The best part of this was when, I mean, unquestionably, Don Callis says, "Get him, Hobbs," and then Hobbs like flips the top of the table, and then Paul White flips the table back, and then stands up, and then Don Callis immediately starts pushing Hobbs back.
Yeah.
He should have said, yeah, just kidding. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. He should have audibly said that he changed his mind, because, you know, flipping a tabletop thingy isn't really getting him.
This was two big men playing bullshit.
Yep. moving on. FTR cut a promo backstage, and they continue this string in AEW of people not having a personal reason for wanting to do things, and so they just cut a promo saying that they want to win their match at the pay-per-view.
For no reason.
Shocking stuff, guys.
Well, the
Riveting.
reason is
They're-
to win, Jimmy.
Well, yeah, that's right.
They
Sorry,
want to win
but my
so
bad.
that they can win.
Well, but they're learning. They're learning quick too. These guys, FTR.
I just want somebody to cut a promo once in AEW to be like, you know what? I don't want to win. I just want to. I want to go out there and have a really quick match. I'll just let you hit me once, and I'll lay down, and you can cover me 1, 2, 3, and then we can all go home. We can be friends afterwards.
You
I'll
mean
meet
like
you
the
in
finger
catering.
poke of doom?
Something like that.
Or Bash
Anyway,
at the Beach 2000?
I'm not impressed with. Here's my promo, guys. I want to win the match at the pay-per-view. See you at the pay-per-view.
Where?
At the pay-per-view. 2 weeks from now, where Brandon will not be watching.
I get that WWF, what the world is watching. But not Brandon.
Not Brandon's not part of that world. He's part of another world. A more
That's a good
sinister
game, Another World.
A darker world. I'm just
But what about Dark Sky?
Dark Sky.
Yeah,
Wasn't
we
on
didn't
the-
even get Dark Sky here.
She wasn't even on the night. Yeah. We got
Wasn't
JD
even
Drake
there.
again, but no more Dark Sky.
Are you kidding me, man? Come on.
We just got JD.
That's way better.
What was it, JD Cake? Because he fucking looked like one.
Mm.
Jay Eats Cake. That's his name. All right, time for the main event. As the well-established, long-standing team of Lance Archer and the Righteous, who are actually teaming tonight for the first time, who were put together literally just to job to this team of Sting, Darby.
Whoa. Reel it back now, Chris. It's Sting!
Sting!
It's Sting!
It's like someone needs to do it spooky styles, but like, it's Sting! You know what I mean?
All right, very early on, Lance Archer and Sting have a woo-off,
Ugh.
which is well inside of Lance's character. Everybody dies, and also
Including his
look at how
character.
much fun I'm having when I'm wrestling this 67-year-old man. Vet, remember last week when the Outrunners had that wonderful match against Sting and Darby, and basically every part of that was perfect, and they basically went out there and made Sting look like $1 million, and they just sold their asses off and got their character over, and it was a quick thing, but it was just absolutely basically perfect.
Yes, that was Wednesday on Dynamite.
This was not that.
No.
This was 16 minutes, and it was 17 minutes too long.
Mm.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
Not good at all. Sting looked
No.
like crap. Edge looked like crap. Darby looked like crap. The heel team was put together
No.
literally just to lose this match, and they made everybody look worse. So,
According to Shivani, Edge looked at the best he's ever looked.
well, Tony's getting paid to
Edge
say
looked
that.
good physically. So
But
much
does he look
mechanically.
good?
No,
Yeah,
well, here's the problem. Serious, all seriousness. Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say I would have been eating muffins this whole time, but I'm already feeling sick. So just imagine that I've been eating them. I don't want to really eat them and get diabetes right here live. But all kidding aside, I'll say this seriously. What should have happened was instead of pairing up Lance with Sting, Sting should have been with the fat dude, and Lance should have been with Edge, because those guys can Edge can still go. So he and Lance should have beat on each other, because Edge can take it and give it. Sting can do neither. So You put Sting with the fat guy and just let the fat guy pinwheel his arms while he's getting chopped and punched and stuff like that. That's about all he's worth, and that's what he should be doing. Darby was paired up with Vincent, which is right, and then that's what they should have done. Instead, they didn't, and then you had to have things like the woo off to buy a little more time because you got told you had this much time, and I'm sure they were probably like, "Fuck." So that would be my little my agent, my producer decision. Like, hey guys, how about this? And then I'll go back to reading my newspaper.
It's like this. Yeah. Newspaper.
By the way, just so you guys know, Arn Anderson is gone. Okay, so
is he?
Yeah, he's been gone. His son's gone. They're both gone.
I knew his son was gone. Buddy now was gone. So
They're
that's
both
official.
out. Yeah, so we'll have to think of another. I think Dean is still there, maybe, so we can just use him in place of all the times we want to use Arn as an example of a producer.
Oh, Jerry Lynn's the other one, right? But the problem is that Dean is suffering from, Alzheimer's.
Early onset dementia? Yeah.
And Parkinson's. Yeah, and dementia, right. And he's the agent. Yeah, I don't want to laugh. But how do you have someone that forgets shit as the producer of a match?
I don't know. Maybe don't use him either. We'll just say Jerry Lynn's agenting all these matches, and everybody's totally listening to Jerry Lynn because that's the scuttlebutt, is that everyone listens to Jerry Lynn and all of his ideas are valued. So we'll go with that. It's Jerry Lynn from here on out.
Jerry Lynn and JR, they're booking this.
So I have to say shame on you, Jerry Lynn, because it should have been Sting paired up with whatever that guy's name is. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even. I legitimately can't remember. I'm trying.
Cake.
No, that's the other fat guy. We know his fucking name for bad reasons. This guy. I'll think of it. Go ahead.
Just like Jacob Seed from the fucking.
Are you talking about Vinny or fucking or the big guy? Oh, the other fat cunt.
We said the fat guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's his name? Dutch.
Yes, exactly. What's his name? Yes, that's how you're supposed to remember. It's Vincent Dutch, the bookers of TNA. That's That's who the rib is on.
Jesus Christ. I feel like the rib is on us for watching this fucking show.
Oh,
week
100%.
main event caps off a week show. And then Christian Cage's music hit, and I thought, oh, are we going to get a Christian Cage promo to end this? Because at least Christian Cage could come out and be like, hey, Sting, I hear your dad's dead. Ha ha! And I would be slightly entertained by something on this show. But instead, he just stood on the ramp and we were faded to black. So.
Considering that, like, Sting's about to retire and we had him and Jake Roberts in the same match, I was kind of disappointed we didn't see a coal miner's glove get used.
Couldn't have been any worse.
Instead, Jake Roberts at one point showed his phone to Sting. I'm not sure if he was like, hey, Steve, have you seen this OnlyFans stuff? I'm not really sure exactly what that was.
Steve.
They didn't tell me what it was.
My neck, Steve. Seriously, man. I mean, anyway, the fact that Jake the Snake is still standing is a miracle, man. Seriously.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is a miracle. So it's
legit.
It's DDP yoga.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For saving.
Feel the bang.
Jake Roberts.
That's not a bad thing, Chris. That's a good thing. Yeah, exactly.
F for me. F for failure. F. This show gets an F. Fuck this show. This show was terrible. There was a bunch of people on this show who I like that had bad matches. Bad wrestling matches against bad opponents. There was nothing set up. Nothing moved forward. Nothing became cooler. Literally the best part of this show was the sexual tension between Brody King and Willow Nightingale. I'm not kidding. That was my fucking highlight of the night. That's bad.
Jesus Christ, that would be an earthquake.
Brandon, do you have a letter grade for this show?
F-.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Anything
Josh,
to add?
Bullet Club Gold was not on the show.
That's true. No Bullet Club Gold, instant F. F- because it was bad. Jimmy T, your letter grade, my friend.
F for fufu.
All right, we've got 3 out of 4. Vet, what's your letter grade? B plus?
Oh, I'm gonna go with FR, which any Rip Rogers fan should know exactly what that stands for. Yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever seen on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not
That includes every episode of Shotgun, Jacked, Metal, everything that's ever Velocity, everything that's ever aired on Saturday nights.
Oh shit.
This episode was the worst.
Yeah, Saturday nights ain't gonna be all right, in my opinion.
Yeah, Lizbeth might have the comment of the night here. The best part of the show was the fade to black as it went off the air. It was really, really bad wrestling show.
You know what really annoys me, man? When we watch shows like this that is that fucking, hideous. I'm sorry to everybody. You know, maybe sometimes it comes across like we're just so like, you know what I mean? Like, just over it, you know what I mean? But yeah, when you watch and you waste your time watching this crap, it's not fun talking about it, man, because there's nothing really to say. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to act like a fool because I was a fool for watching this shit.
Yeah, no, you feel like it's an interesting thing because like yesterday I was in Winnipeg, right, and I watched a Jets game live. It was like the first time I've been to a Jets game in a couple of years, right, and they lost, and they trailed the whole game, and they basically didn't start playing until the last 5 minutes of the game, and that arena is generally the most fucking insanely loud place on the planet, okay? Winnipeg Jets crowds are awesome crowds for hockey. And they were almost completely silent the entire night last night. And I couldn't blame them because you don't want to look like a fucking idiot. You don't want to feel like you're foolish for having supported the thing that you wanted to support, right? And if your team doesn't even look like they're trying, you do kind of feel foolish for being there, right? You're like, I spent $60 fucking for this seat. I spent $18 for a hot dog. I spent $28 for a beer. But I'm probably exaggerating slightly on those prices, but not by fucking much, right? You don't want to look foolish for having supported the thing that you're there to support, right? It's the same thing with this. It's the same thing with professional wrestling. If you go to a show or you're watching a show regularly and it disappoints you constantly, there does come a point where you're like, I just don't want to look foolish anymore with this fucking show. So you if you do continue to support it, you're just supporting it by the strength of like, I'm going to tell you how fucking stupid this was or what my team needs to do to get better, right? There's a whole fucking cottage industry behind that, when it comes to actual sports. And I feel like AEW is sort of becoming that for professional wrestling. The people who still watch it are basically all watching it to say, well, this was stupid. And fucking JD Drake was on my television show again. And do you know what I mean? It just seems like this is what AEW has become. It's the team that you watch and you know they're going to suck. So you're just like, fuck it, I guess I'll just watch and tell them how fucking bad they are.
Yeah, but Chris, you know what the sad part is? There is so many delusional fans out there that are so behind AEW that they call this show. I saw multiple people say this show was the shit. And not the shits, the shit. Like, it was that good.
They missed an S.
I know, but, I kid you not, man. I kid you not. And thank you, Josh. I know I don't have to apologize, but I do, man. Because, like I said, when I watch this crap, I get all fucking wacky. That's all I want to do. I just want to be a shithead. You know what I mean? Like,
it's okay.
This show's just fucking, ugh.
Don't apologize, Jimmy. It was entertaining. I am sure that the people that the audience loved it. Also, Jimmy, where can the people find you when you're not being a shithead?
Well, you can find me on the X at DJ Mass Effects, and you can find us also at the PWC Network. Please like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, even though we're not right here. We're at the PWC, but you know, technically, channelattitude.com, where for $5, only do you get the realest talking pro wrestling, but you get the best. Also at Hamin Media Group.podbean.com and the PWC Network.podbean.com, where you can find everything else. And that's enough from me.
Sweet. Brandon, thanks for coming. It was a lot of fun. In spite of the absolutely awful nature of this show, where can the people find you if they want to hear more from you?
You can find me on Twitter, or as the kids call it these days, the X at Transarchist Tia. I'm also on Twitch.tv under Miss Tia the Transarchist. I'm also on Substack at HMG Brandon, and you can catch me every Monday night with my buddy the Vet as we do the Impact Attack.
Sweet. That was great. That was like really concise. I like that. Vet, where can the people view?
You can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms, whatever they are, including Twitch.tv, where I'll be in, 10 minutes or so. As soon as I'm done watching these pretty Japanese ladies suplex each other on their heads. And what do you say, you can find me on the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray Hernandez. And as Brandon said, you can find us every Monday night live. 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm putting the PWC guys on the spot. Since you were kind enough to have us on, what about watching some TNA wrestling and jumping on tomorrow? What do you think about that, huh? On the spot, guys. What do you say?
What time?
You know what? I'd rather watch Impact than this shit that we watched today.
Nothing,
so yeah.
Look, you just know automatically that nothing can be worse than what we just saw. So it's all uphill or downhill or whatever uphill from here. So what do you think?
Whichever direction.
Anyway, you don't have to answer now. Take some time to think about it, but we're on the record. Check out Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday, live Q&As, concrete time of noon Eastern, except when it's not. And then check out everything Stevie Richards been doing. He's got a wrestling analysis channel, a fitness channel. He relaunched his tech channel, and he's doing way too much. And I say that not in concern of his health, but in concern of me being able to consume it all. So he's doing too much for me to keep up with. But if you follow him, keep up with what you can. That's all, Chris.
Absolutely. Stevie's just killing it, by the way. Those fucking videos, every single time they get uploaded, it's like a mini school for wrestling. You just get like so much knowledge from whatever he's saying. He'll put out a 10-minute video, and like you almost have to watch it twice to get everything that's in there. It like legitimately, some of those videos are like the best videos I've ever seen on like how to perform this wrestling move properly, or exactly what went wrong when he has his what went wrong videos. So yeah, shout outs to Stevie, who is not only a fantastic wrestling analyst, but also one of the best human beings in the history of professional wrestling. Support Stevie wherever you can. He's awesome. You can find me on Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. Fuck your ex. I am at Chris Ambs 1. You can go there to see everything I have to say about pro wrestling, politics, and whatever the hell else comes to my mind. You can also find me right here on the PWC Network, which is where you're listening to this, because we had weird, awful things happen to the technical side of things. But you can also find me on channelattitude.com and the HMG, where we do this show, as well as Uncaged, where we uncage Rampage, which somehow has been a better show than Collision lately, and that makes me very fucking angry. But
that's weird, bro. This week, definitely.
It's the C show, and it's better than this.
And it was live. Not Collision. What the hell, bro?
Awful, awful stuff. Anyway, you can find me on all those things. Want to say before we go, as we're signing off here, thank you to everybody in the chat. We love you guys. We love you for listening. If you're listening later and you don't have a chance to get into the chat, tweet us if you have any questions or anything. Just send a tweet to me or Jimmy. If you have a question for the Impact Attack, send it to Opinion Haver or send it to Brandon. And yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Good night. Goodbye. Fucking Olay.
Peace.